Hello everyone, my name is Lauren, and welcome to my channel. This is a one-stop shop for all things Titanic in the 41st millennium. I'm an Imperial Knights player at heart, but I also play Death Guard, Shadow Legion, Sisters of Battle, Grey Knights, and White Scars. Now hold on, before we get into it, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. As of writing the script, I have 53 subscribers, so every single one of you will make a difference. Thank you, now let's get to the video. I've been on the Warhammer scene since the tail end of 9th edition, and I've been loving it ever since. I only played about 4 or 5 games of 9th and had a hard time understanding it due to being brand new to wargaming in general. I had played games like D&D and Magic, and those made sense to me, but Warhammer? Well, this was a completely different thing. I was actually almost turned off from the very beginning due to an unfortunate encounter with the one who runs my local GW store. But I toughed it out, and I'm very happy that I stayed that day. I had stopped in to look at some colors for my D&D minis that I was learning how to paint. I talked to the guy that worked behind the counter, and we had a conversation about if I was interested in Warhammer. I had heard of it, but I was not at all familiar. I understood the concept of a Space Marine, but I didn't really know anything else besides that. I looked over and I saw a box of Tyranids, and I thought that they looked pretty interesting. Especially the one that looked like General Grievous with the 4 arms with the big swords. I still don't know enough about Tyranids to tell you what that guy's called. Is that a Hive Tyrant? Is that a Hive Tyrant? Now, at first I really liked the look of the Tyranids. The idea of having the swarm of monsters charging head on to your opponent seemed like a lot of fun. Plus, the models looked fantastic. But then, I saw it. I looked up at the top shelf, and behold, the Questoris Knight. I was in love from the moment I saw it. A giant mech in a tabletop game where you have guys running in with swords. I can have this ginormous robot with a huge cannon for one hand and a giant chainsword for another. That was just so cool to me. Now, I asked the guy behind the counter about the Knight, and he told me that Knights are a cool faction, but most of the time, people just bring them in as allies, and they aren't commonly played as an army themselves. Now, what I didn't know was how wrong he was. He also told me that if I'm gonna be playing against my friends that were also new, I should pick a different faction, as Knights are very difficult to play against, especially in low point games. I left the store that day with 2 pots of paint and a bright future ahead. I got back to my apartment and told my brother all about my trip to the Warhammer store. I wasn't convinced he would want to play since we already play Magic and D&D. The last thing we need is another expensive hobby. But when I told him about it, I was surprised to hear him say he wanted to go to the Warhammer store and see for himself. Later that night, I started watching the obligatory "which faction should you choose" videos, and every time I saw an Imperial Knight, I just got so happy. So I made my decision, and the next day I went back to the store and left with that Questoris Knight I was told that I shouldn't buy. I spent the next 3 days priming, by hand mind you, and painting my Knight. Yes, I used a number 1 brush to completely prime the Knight gray, and then right after that, I painted the whole thing lead belcher. And no, I did not use a single drop of water to thin out any of those paints. And as you can imagine, it looked awful, but it was mine, and no one could take that feeling away from me. I built this. I painted this, and now I want to play with it. Now all I need is... Holy what are the Sisters of Battle? So the very next day after completing my Questoris Knight, I brought home a Sisters Combat Patrol. I tried painting a few of them up, and yes, you guessed it, they looked even worse than my Paladin. And I tried painting white armor panels on there, not knowing that white is one of the hardest colors to get right. They looked hideous. But at the time, I thought they looked great. And that's the most important part of this hobby, being happy with what you have. If you're new to Warhammer, and especially if you are new to painting, just know getting good looking models is something that takes time and practice. I found it disheartening to go somewhere like Reddit or Pinterest and see all these amazing works of art, and mine looked, well, they looked bad. But as you progress in your hobby journey, you will quickly learn that this isn't going to happen overnight. I know that I have never painted to my fullest ability. I always cut corners, or I don't shade or highlight, forget the wash, or leave my bases bare. If I really wanted to see how good I can be, I just need to put in the time and effort. In most cases, I will only work on a model one time. I'll open the box, build it, prime it immediately, and if I have time, I'll paint it. If I don't finish, then I'm out of luck because I'm gonna move on to something new, without giving myself time to slow down and paint those extra details, add edge highlighting, try out recess shading. And you might find yourself in the same struggle. Now, I feel I need to mention something. This is a very expensive hobby, and I am very blessed to have the job that I do given the circumstances that got me there. I have more disposable income than most others do, and unfortunately, I don't have the self-control to slow down my spending. When Shadow Legion came out, I owned one box of Nurglings. After a period of about 8 or 9 days, I had 2,150 points worth of Shadow Legion. Now, I don't want you all to think that I'm just sitting here flexing my wallet. It's an issue that I want to change about myself. I've been in the hobby for just over 2 years now, and I have 6 entire armies. I want to set a challenge for myself and for you too. Pick a kit that is sitting in your pile of shame. Whether it's built or not, take that model or unit or terrain, whatever it is for you, and give it the love and attention that it deserves. I have it in me to do better, and so do you. This armature I've been working on during the video only took me about 2 hobby sessions to complete. Had I put in twice that time, I could only imagine how it would have turned out. With that being said, I would like to thank all of you for sticking around to the end. It means more than you know that you would stay and listen this long. My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and if you could help me with that, I would be in your debt. Thank you all for watching, and please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It means more than you could ever know. My name has been Lauren, and thank you for watching.